All right, we're in for another Tuesday news day, and today we're going to be talking about some empires, some dedicated factions that are being added to Total War Warhammer 3's new Immortal Empires. And our guest star here for the day is Bellacor. We're going to be talking about Bellacor's new specific faction. You have him in the Realms of Chaos campaign, but you can't actually play as him, and that is being changed here in the Immortal Empires, where you can actually play as Bellacor with a starting position in Albion. We just talked about that in the last speculation video about, you know, where might or who might start in Albion, and following that Shadows over Albion supplement, it makes a lot of sense to have Bellacor there. He had a whole big hand in it. So that is what we're going to be going through here today. That's the down and dirty of what it is, and if that's all you wanted to know, you can go ahead and head on out. But for those that want to stick around, let's get into the nitty and gritty here on the new Empire dedicated factions. And we're going to go through this list, but I guess the poll question of the day when it comes to the video is, what are some dedicated factions that you would like to see in Warhammer 3 that are not present in this list? Maybe a specific faction for a character that's not added, or one that is added and you'd like to see a different theme, whatever it is. Go ahead and let it be known in the comment section below. I want to figure out what you're thinking. Let's go ahead and take a look here. So they were saying that this week we're taking a closer look at the changes coming to some of the legendary lords in Total War Warhammer 3, particularly those who previously shared their factions with other Warhammer 1 and 2 characters, or other lords, but will now enjoy a force of their own on the Immortal Empires battlefield. And the first one is Bellacor. So of course we'll be able to play him just like he was in the Realm of Chaos campaign, but now he kind of gets a little bit more added to him, right? He's a Demon Prince undivided, so he'll get access to a huge repertoire. So he is particularly unique amongst the Warriors of Chaos legendary lords in that he has access to the widest selection of Chaos demons, allowing him to assemble entire armies of demonic might without the need for petty mortals. Within the campaign, Bellacor begins in the settlement of the Isle of Wight in Albion, where he has but one aim: to embark on a crusade of destruction. While the rest of his campaign mechanics will be revealed alongside the eagerly anticipated Warriors of Chaos update, here are a couple of his key features to look forward to. So he gets unholy manifestations. Like the demon factions, Bellacor has access to 4 powerful unholy manifestations. Each of Bellacor's ability is aligned with one of 4 Chaos gods and can be unlocked by defeating an army aligned with a specific god or through sacrificing souls, which is a mechanic that is unique to Bellacor himself. They offer, shared by all Warriors of Chaos, a new resource shared by all Warriors of Chaos. They offer powerful and unique benefits. For example, the Tzeentch aligned manifestation grants the ability to spawn a unique Shadow Rift and the local province that Bellacor's forces can use to teleport across the mortal plane. In addition, every unholy manifestation used grants additional demonic reinforcements for his forces. So that's a pretty sexy mechanic, that alone, right? Being able to kind of reinforce or teleport across the mortal plane, and how that really kind of works out in the local province that Bellacor's forces can use to teleport across the mortal plane. So I'm wondering where that leads, or where it goes to or from. Like, can you just use it for recruitment purposes? Can you use it to warp to and from locations? Is it a random location? How does that all really work? So it'll be interesting to see how that kind of plays out. We also get Bellacor's Shadow. Bellacor has the unholy ability to corrupt those who stand against him. When he defeats a human lord in battle, he can mark them with chaos, slowly corrupting their soul and eventually converting them into a demon prince to reinforce the ranks of his army. And I love that. So it seems that any non-legendary lord, I would assume, human lord that dies in battle against Bellacor will then be marked and become a demon prince. So very awesome. That is so thematic. And I think with his starting location, you know, he'll be right up against Norscan lords, right up against Bretonnian and Empire lords. So he has all 3 to really kind of choose from when it comes to human lords in battle. He can probably push into Kislev and kill those generic human lords, whatever it is. But I do like that he's going to have a lot of options to choose from in creating these demon princes, should he so wish. Chaos Gifts. Dedication to the Dark Gods, or remaining undivided, is sacrosanct to the forces of Chaos, and through their battlefield exploits, their warriors are bestowed with unholy gifts. By offering defeated souls to the gods, Warriors of Chaos can unlock powerful but limited rewards, which boost their proficiency in battle or grant demonic reinforcements. So it'll probably be something that reduces the recruit time for certain demonic units, or probably something that reduces their recruitment costs, and maybe even increases their recruitment rank, like we typically see with a lot of stuff like that. But also unlock powerful rewards that boost proficiency in battle. So I would imagine, like, oh, you know, it's a corn themed gift, and oh, you're now going to have increased weapon strength, or this is a Slaanesh themed gift, maybe more melee attack or more speed. I bet you they're going to probably be themed along one of the 4 ruinous powers of being able to borrow some mechanics. They're like, oh, this one's going to grant you the ability for magical reserves for Tzeentch, what so on, what have you, and so forth. But we'll hopefully be finding out more about Bellacor as well with the Warriors of Chaos rework that is coming with the Immortal Empires. That happens in August. Let's look at some of the dedicated faction stuff as well, because there are other ones that are coming. So we already know about Volkmar the Grim and the Cult of Sigmar. He's going to be on a special pilgrimage of zealousness by abandoning the petty squabbles of the Elector Counts in favor of sealing away the abominable books of Nagash. Volkmar now resides in the lower Southlands. So, actually, sealing books away increases his zeal, strengthening the boons and power granted to Volkmar. So it looks like he'll actually have that as a campaign objective, which is pretty cool, is to go find those books of Nagash. And I really like that as a way to kind of break up what is a pretty pointed campaign for the Tomb King. So it'll be a fun way for Volkmar the Grim to use that power mustache to the best of his ability. Grombrindal now with the Ancestral Throng, and this one's pretty cool. Known for his hatred of the sadistic Dark Elves following Malekith's instigation of the War of the Beards. That's right, War of the Beards. Grombrindal moved to Nagaroth. There he stages his armies to enact revenge upon the Witch King. So what this really is talking about is when Grombrindal is the dwarf who kind of declared Malekith dwarf friend, right? Like hey, you know, you're a trusted friend of the dwarfs. We love you, so on and so forth. And when he died, he told Malekith, like, hey, like, promise me that you'll always keep the bonds between our races, our peoples, strong. And he's like, no, don't worry about it, Grombri, I got you. And after doing this, Malekith instigated the situation that ends up causing the War of the Beards, where he ambushed some dwarfs and that's the one. Ambushed some dwarfs and then put evidence that it was elves that caused the ambush, thus leading to the War of the Beards and causing a divide between the High Elves and the dwarfs, because this is just hot off of the civil war between the High Elves and what becomes the Dark Elves. So it's kind of like a two-pronged attack that he then used to start another invasion. But into Helmengorst, we have the Caravan of Blue Roses, ever clinging to the hope of discovering necromancies that could bring his brothers back to life. Helmengorst has moved eastwards in order to be closer to the coveted Nagashazar fortress. Grombrindal, the Ancestral Throng, probably now starts in Nagaroth, right? Move to Nagaroth. So it's going to be really fun to see where that is in Nagaroth. And Gorst here, though, starts in Nagashazar, which is at the very southern edge of the World's Edge Mountains before it crosses into the Southlands. So we'll be able to probably see him on the Darkland side of the map now, adding some Vampire Counts presence around there. And I wonder if he'll just get moved if they put Nagash into the game. So it'll be interesting how that kind of plays itself out. Vlad and Isabella von Karstein will stay as a dual lords of the Sylvania faction. If you choose as Vlad as your legendary lord, Isabella will automatically be unlocked as a hero and vice versa. So, as a hero? Was that always like that? I thought it was just 2 legendary lords. That's kind of cool, so that they're changing it so that the corresponding one is now just a hero in your army. I can't remember if it was always like that, but I really like that rather than having 2 legendary lords that are pretty strong. Sigvald the Magnificent will be the leader now of the Decadent Host. Armed with his disturbing yet angelic beauty, Prince Sigvald is now a force unto himself within the Warriors of Chaos. He reclines in pleasure in the northwestern Chaos Wastes and has been bestowed with some tantalizing new features, such as the ability to seduce units, use seductive influence, the same mechanic that Slaanesh can use to bring people from the opposing team's side into his side right before battle, and has access to Slaanesh's demonic breed. So that'll be pretty interesting, putting him at that northernmost portion of the map, where he'll probably start next to the Dark Elves, with Nakari just across that gulf, that bit of sea, to be as a potential ally over there in Ulthuan. So they'll be kind of close together, which will be a pretty nice little starting location, and probably one that he desperately needs. Kolak Sun Eater is in the Heralds of the Tempest faction. The Ancient Dragon Ogre now resides north of the Mountains of Morn. So this puts him kind of west of, or about in line with, Cathay, and before you get into the Northern Chaos Wastes and northeast of Kislev is what it probably looks like. Keen to seek out a monolithic settlement for his own dark designs. So that'll be another interesting starting location for Kolek to kind of put him in that kind of near where his breaching point was, wasn't it? It's like somewhere in like the Northern Chaos Waste, from what I remember, where he kind of breached into the world. So it'd be interesting to see how he will kind of shake out. I think he doesn't have as many allies as he would have in the Chaos Realm map, right? Because there's so many more demons that start up there. So now Kolek will be on his own, and we'll hopefully see some more Warriors of Chaos placement, like where Archaon is going to be and so on and so forth, because we're getting 2 right here with this Chaos Demon placement in Albion. So, and we know where Norska starts as well, so it's going to be a pretty interesting little shakeout when we find out more information about these new factions and where they're going to be starting across the map. But next week, we'll be answering the questions you asked last month in a special interview with the developers. You won't want to miss it. We'll also be sharing details about another bit of content coming with Immortal Empires next week. So check back for more as we continue our march to August. So very excited to find out more things that are coming here as we reach that August beta launch for Immortal Empires. I know I'm stoked. I know you're stoked, but we'll be covering more of this news as it comes out, as we will also, it looks like we'll be getting like a double bit of news maybe next week, getting the questions answered for the blog, and probably another bit of content for that other thing coming with Immortal Empires. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching here today. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun action, but have a good one and take care.